Welcome back, everybody. Dren608 plays, playing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous.
Together, we stand.
Have her just lay hands on herself. We are not in the right order. What the heck went on here? Okay, she needs to get
Yes?
her maximize rod. And a haste scroll. Where the heck is the haste scrolls? Where's the haste scrolls? Okay. And so we're up for 3 more minutes. Should I put up new ones?
My will is resolute.
I think I'm going to go ahead and cast new ones. I'll have our stuff up. She does not have up her false life.
Please, allow me.
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge.
Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi.
Alright, I think that's about as good as we can go. Oh, I need to get on my horse.
I am here all week.
Okay. Well, where the heck is it? We have to go down this way. Just keep going and going and going. Just... Damn it! Discard.
We meet again, mortal. I intruded into the sanctum of your allies, and then you intruded into my home and temple. But at last, we stand face to face in threshold on neutral ground. In Iz, you struck down my creator and master Daskari, but if that makes you dismissive of his echo, if you think I do not pose a threat, then you are greatly mistaken. You have changed since our last encounter. Where are your incredible powers? What happened to your angelic light? Did the lackey of the imposter goddess turn out to be an imposter himself? A false angel whose mortal nature took over in the end. No, I'm not afraid of your threats, and there's nothing you could offer me that would make me withdraw. He lost to you. He lost. The great Daskari himself lost to a mortal. So what happens if I succeed where the great lord failed? If an echo destroys the one its originator could not defeat, who would that make me? What would it prove? I'll risk my life to know. You are not just my enemy, you are my chance. A chance I won't miss.
I know. There you are. You made yourself big. Why can't I get over? Are you kidding me? Dren can't even get off a shot. Oh, come on! I'm trying, but you won't let me go there. Land. Still can't move far enough. Damn it. Oh, I can get him beat on you.
Always win.
She can't move up far enough. God bless it. So. Let's bring out some more exabytes. Damn it! Knock down my horse. Lie to you. That on. Actually, let's turn this. No, let's turn that one on. Let's cast another one. Why am I only allowed to take one shot?
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
I will stand up. Did you?
I got this.
And
I will resist.
you will smite evil. Hit him again.
Guide my blade.
So much for the echo of the sky. I'll take his stuff. And Social, you need to cast a heal. No, not a heal mass. Just a heal. What is that, 6th? Heal on the horse. Then the horse will go and drink many potions. Then I will get back on my horse. Knock down my horse. Alright, everybody together, we're all still buffed up. Let's go. No. Where is it that we're at? This is where we're supposed to go, isn't it? Oh, there's some kind of... There's some kind of check here or something that we have to get through. Damn it! is it? Oh, this is where I can't remember how I get across. I swear it was down here. Oh, I can't remember how we did this the last time. I'm running around wasting all my... That's what it is. I have to go this way. Nope, I can't go this way either. Dang, damn it.
I can handle it.
I do not remember how to get anywhere. It's like I can't get anywhere. I ran into this problem the last time and I can't remember how I got across. I thought I had to go over here. So you can't get across here either. What was the trick? There is a trick here, but I don't remember what it is. It's not there. It's not here, because I can't get across these spaces. Oh, what the heck was it? I swear it was something down here. Some kind of test or something I had to do. There it is. There it is. What's my time? 13 minutes. And in we go. There we are. I've got to fight her and she's on the far side of the world.
Now that your souls are separated, he is growing weaker and weaker. Why won't you just let me kill you? Extract your soul and finish what I started.
Behind her and listens to your conversation, its head tilted slightly to the side. Knowledge Arcania, past. I can tell you've been preparing for this battle, but there's something more to it, am I right? I sense barrier spells waiting to be activated, and there's something else, something deadly.
Yes, and what you did, it's like you tried to kill him again, as if you were one of the threshold dogs that broke into my home 100 years ago. No, there is not. Your souls are too closely intertwined. I cannot use another host. I need your soul. And I will have it. You're so adept at magic. Of course, I've been preparing for our meeting. And hopefully I've prepared well. I don't require your permission.
Where do I know I am and go find her? Where is she? Where is she? How did she go? Okay, I'll just go hit this thing. There she is. Oh, she's behind us. You little witch, you. Aru. Oh, your stuff is up. She's got 1,292. He's got 232. She's going to get to go after Ember. What are we all? Flat-footed. Okay. These guys are all only going to get one shot.
Prepare yourself.
What's her armor class? 61. Freaking kidding me?
No glory without risk.
Gonna need to spam. Not a very good chance of getting off of spell magic. Well, we can try to do this. Fire skin, sea mantle, echolocation, foresight, and mind blank. Okay. I did a pretty good job there. Land didn't get to attack. Oh, there he is. The land can cut loose. So he should.
You won't survive me.
So we have very many hit points to get on you. Alright, she can do this as a quick action maximized. Why don't we... Yeah, let's just try and get down. And then I'm gonna go cast a haste scroll. Where's my haste scrolls? Keep losing them. Gets everybody. And then she's going to move like here. Oh, the midnight. Jesus. What the hell was that? Tsunamis. Ah, jeez, oh Pete.
Are you still here?
I never thought that I would be responsible for the creation of my most powerful enemy.
so I can stab you in the back.
How very perceptive. But you didn't think I would make it easy, did you? I won't let you win. You need me alive. You want to use me to close the wound, but I can destroy myself before you have a chance. You're right. I won't gain anything from this. So what now? You are stronger than I could have anticipated. As your creator, I should be proud to be defeated by the one I have imbued with power. Is there any higher praise? But I'm tired. You won't hear me pleading. Let us finish this experiment here and now.
I don't know, is that true? I wish I could save at this point, you know? Defeated Shadow rises and stands still at the very edge of the Worldwound. Its gaze is focused on the violet flames of the rift. Shadow says nothing, but you can sense the direction of its thoughts. To take one last step into the yawning chasm together, for what has been the whole for so long must come apart at last, and only the wound's fire can finally free you from each other. I'm going to try Legend just to see what it says. Without menace or fear, simply waiting.
Indeed. You need neither power nor soul. That's right, because you have my soul to sacrifice. Isn't that what you mean?
Close the moon, one needs to split the soul of the key in two, correct? But that's almost exactly what I did. And I'm still alive.
To sever your connection completely. Now I understand. But it will kill him.
Oh. I'd sacrifice myself, sacrifice her. I don't know what to do. Well, we'll try it this way. So it takes us a step beyond the edge. But it will kill him. I really don't know what to do, guys. Frack. I'm at 24 minutes, and I'm gonna go into another big battle here. Problem is I can't save here and come back and try the other option if I don't like what the first one does. Okay. Dang it. So this sacrifices myself, right? I guess. Alright, well, let's try to be the bigger hero. Alright, we're gonna spare a reload.
Is that supposed to be merciful? Why would I want this life? Why, when everything I've lived for will be gone?
Walking away and leaving everything as it is? What happens then? Oh,
How
Noctilli.
fortunate then that we have a replacement for you.
Noctilli shows up. Kicks her in. Color drains her ruler's race, but she's unable to react in time. The strike by the Lady in Shadow is precise and merciless. It sends the architect of the Worldwound into the maw of her own creation. Interesting.
As always, I had to do everything myself. See, things are great. You're alive. The wound is healing. We all have wonderful lives ahead of us in the new world. Let us enjoy the moment. It's not every day one witnesses the end of a phenomenon that changed the lives of generations of mortals and demons. Please help me.
Trying, but I'm not allowed to cast any heals. Okay. Am I going to have to fight more demons? Oh no. Okay. When in doubt, save, but you don't give me points where I can save. Life and death, destiny and great deeds, answers to mysteries, a search for one's true path. The mind can comprehend all of these, and then such concepts can be written down as a sequence of formulas, a series of lines, a chain of thought. Still, a moment always comes when it's time to wrap up, to reach a conclusion, to put a period to the end of the last sentence. The impossible rift, the bleeding wound that had tormented all of Galarian for 100 years, was finally healed. The life and soul of the one who inflicted this wound upon the world became the salve. With the death of the witch, Aurelia Warlish, the world wound that she created vanished as well. Oh, I didn't get a chance to finish up the storyteller. The Fifth Crusade may not have lasted long, but in that short time, Dren became the commander city, his bulwark, his citadel, and surprisingly, he remained the ruler of the city and the surrounding lands after the spectacular victory at Threshold. The unusual alliance of various forces that had helped the commander in the Battle of Threshold ceased to exist soon after the victory. The commander's allies left the lands for the former Worldwound, spreading word of the extraordinary mortal to every corner of creation. Commander's accomplishment left a tremendous mark on history. For the next century, it's just about every part of Galarian. Philosophical teachings emerged that focused on the importance of being oneself, relying on one's own strength, rejecting others' gifts if they were offered not as a way of helping an equal, but as a boon to an inferior. The most influential of these schools of thought was named after the commander, and its core concept was the following. Every one of us has a shadow in our soul, and this shadow can make us stronger. But at the same time, it can impede our self-understanding. To fight the shadow, even at the cost of relinquishing its boons and power, is the path to true strength of spirit. As the leader of the Crusaders, the commander progress preserving the leader's lives won their loyalty and obedience. Even in the Crusade's darkest hours, the commander found ways to restore the army's supply lines. His military acumen was beyond question. Under his leadership, the divided, poorly trained Crusader forces were forged into an invincible army. Due to this success, Commander's diplomatic strategy by the end of the war, Mendev's true political center was Dresden, not Nyrosian. After gaining the support of foreign rulers and finding allies in the capital, Dresden became the shining example of the new Mendev, one that was nurtured by the commander's ideas. The economic accomplishments of the Crusade were so great, achieved considerable success in all areas of the military campaign, that even a century after the end of the war, Dresden retained its prominence on the map of Avestan. The commander's diplomatic, military, and administrative talent turned the fortress into a key political player. Shortly after the war, Queen Galfrey abdicated the throne of Mendev and departed Nyrosian to spend the rest of her long life with her beloved, the one who had helped her see that there was more to life than duty. Galfrey took up residence in Dresden, but for long afterward, envoys from Nyrosian strove to persuade her to return. Their entreaties were always met with a polite but firm refusal. Quite a number of Mendevians wanted to see the commander of the Fifth Crusade inherit the throne. Upon his return to Canabras, Helrun ranted and raged against those who had been governing the city in his absence. But contrary to all expectations, Helrun's inquisitors were far less vicious than in days past. It seemed the time he had spent fighting of the Canabras in the Fifth Crusade had tempered him somewhat. The ward stones from the chain that once guarded the borders of Menden were carefully disassembled one by one. The angels that had been trapped inside returned to heaven to heal their wounded spirits and prepare for new battles against evil. The victory over the Worldwound changed many things, not just on Galarian, but in the Midnight Isles as well. Tequila spent many days pondering the words of a certain young and fearless prophet. Before long, the Lady in Shadow openly renounced her realm and named herself the Redeemer Queen. Yay! This revolt against her own demonic nature transformed Nocticula, severed her ties to the Abyss, and brought her to Elysium. Thereupon creating a realm named Midnight's Palette, the Redeemer Queen maintained divine power and became the patroness of exiles. The now vacant throne was instantly seized by Chimera, the ardent dream. However, her power could not compare to the might of the Lady in Shadow. Midnight Isles, which had become a tempting prize for many demons, were plunged into chaos. The Demon Lord Baphomet suffered a defeat. The Worldwound was closed, and the convenient passage to Galarian was sealed along with it. Baphomet shifted his attention to the realms of other demon lords. A cell of the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth was soon discovered in Lucinera. The Demon Lord Descare suffered a defeat. He bided his time, continuing to plot his invasion of Galarian, and after that, of heaven itself. The cultists that remained on Galarian went mad one after another, tortured by the nightmarish dreams their lord sent to them. Commander's escapades in Lucinera left a lasting impression on its denizens. Under Zeklik's management, the battle bliss gradually fell into decline. Audiences had grown bored of ordinary gladiator fights, and the Nahindrian League closed due to the lack of members. Realizing that his talents as an arena steward would never be appreciated in the Abyss, Zeklik sold the battle bliss and used the proceeds to relocate to Hell, where he finally found himself at home. The unrelenting killer and vigilante known as Red Mask continued her purge of Lucinera and assembled a full squad of Asmir's assassins. Demons enjoyed listening to stories of their bloody exploits. That is, until the assassins came to collect their heads. Gizmera was true to her word. The Winter Sun clan left the lands of their ancestors. Once they had left the borders of the former Sarkoris, the clan split into several branches. One went to the wildlands of Numeria. Others set off for free Varicia. That's where I'm from. A small group led by Gizmera chose to travel to Andoran, where they were lost among the many refugees fleeing from other lands and other wars. The Winter Sun clan ceased to be. Bad. Tirabades were adamant about retiring from military service, leaving it all behind and escaping together, but urgent Eagle Watch business forced them to stay for a week, then for a month, then for many years. Even as Anivia cursed their lot, however, her eyes would shine with pride, for she was always the first to admit that Irabeth was not. Helped her control her inner turmoil and take heart again. Kind of person who could just give up and retire. The Hand of the Inheritor, who had gone into voluntary exile, spent much time among mortals trying to gain a better understanding of their fickle natures. Somewhere on the roads of Galarian, the Angel's trail went cold. Rumor has it that he intentionally went into hiding to avoid both old friends and surviving enemies, and that he now lives somewhere in the guise of a callow, mortal youth eager to absorb other people's wisdoms. The Dretch known as Suture never made peace with the loss of his mistress. He retreated to her old laboratory, where he wandered the empty halls, activating the magical projectors again and again. For in their pale light, there still lived an image of the one who had become so important to the solitary demon. Oh, that's sad. The abyssal boy named Zorges, I guess that's how you say it, had intended to leave the material plane, but a conversation with the commander after the victory over the Worldwound caused him to change his mind. Details of this conversation are unknown, but a week later, Zorges knocked on the door of the Pathfinder Society's Grand Lodge and was accepted into the Society as a ward. It was the beginning of a long, adventurous saga. Is that our next game? Would be Zorges? The commander's decision to destroy the Numerian device that had captured in Blackwater Clan encampment had dire consequences. Free of the mechanism that inhabited and controlled it, the mysterious core of the device soon awakened and vanished in a flash of magical energy. Within weeks, Numerian hunters began to tell tales of a strange construct they had encountered in the mountains. It was the skeleton of a machine of some sort, alien and incomprehensible, that had been built by people with hollow eyes. The storyteller, as old as the tales he collected, continued his travels across Galarian and occasionally beyond. He knew that out there somewhere there was one story he would never find, his own. Because I didn't get him his last page. I needed to give him that page after I found it when I went out and rested. I should have given him his page that would have included his story. I've got your page, come back! Once again, Scylla heard the call of the open road. Even after gaining mythic powers and coming face to face with the goddess and demon lords, she never stopped being a paladin and wandering knight, whose purpose was to help others. Staying true to Fens was Celia's blood, and it is said that even while journeying through the farthest reaches of Galarian, she tried her best to keep in touch with the commander. Their rare meetings were always filled with joy. Having properly fulfilled his duty to the mongrels, and to his surprise avoided death, Lan was suddenly faced with a choice. What to do with his life now that it was going to end any time soon. His hesitation did not last long. Helped Lan believe he trusted him. And just a few months later, he went on a sea voyage to see the world he had saved. But the first place Lan visited, however, was Narosian. He visited his mother and stayed with her until the road called to him once again. Ember joined the Redeemed Brotherhood. She never recognized herself as their leader or gave any orders, but her very presence inspired. Their joint ventures convinced Ember to keep believing in the inherent goodness of people and not only people. The former miscreants to perform great deeds. Over time, Brotherhood grew into a major religious movement. Its preachers took a vow of poverty and walked the roads of Galarian, helping the needy, convincing villains to change their ways, and entreating both good and evil deities alike to be more merciful to mortal kind. Soon after the war, the tireless researcher of all things, embarked on a new journey. She had sudden urge to know how much time it would take to visit every nation on Galarian. She returned after a year and a half with a pile of notes, which she promptly handed over to her assistant. After all, someone had to help her compile the entries for the first volume of the Encyclopedia Gloranica. It only made sense for her assistant to help, given that one of their entries was dedicated to him. Commander of the First Crusade, who had made Galarian history. Darien Arende embraced his new life, one that was free of the other. He became more mature, his smile grew colder, and his choice of diversions more elaborate, and he acquired an imperious streak. Inquisitor Lytor's blood seemed to have let darkness into Derican's... Yeah, we killed him. Blood seemed to have let darkness into Darian's soul, or had it always dwelt there. Whatever the case, in that darkness he was free and happy as ever before. He never lost his respect, or should that be his fondness, for the commander, and would often visit him in Dresden. To his own surprise, Woljif Jefto became a war hero. Esteem and fame were shortly followed by great wealth. Thiefling did not let his newfound fortune turn his head, but chose to invest the money in several profitable ventures, and one charity for street urchins. Within a few years, his signature style became to include a top hat, a cane, and a bit of a belly. There was a lot of talk in the taverns of Absalom about the time soon after the end of the war when Woljif appeared in the city in the company of Count Darien Arende. It remains unclear whether Darien treated the thiefling as a wayward younger brother or a court jester, but he took pleasure in showing him the world. The third person in the group was rumored to be the commander himself. After the victory, Solso returned home. Now a famed crusader hero, he humbly officiated at the Temple of Shailin, painted, grew sweet-smelling fruits, and made the best wine in the region. His former kindly smile returned less and less often. He avoided talking about the war, and when people asked about his brother's fate, he just curtly replied that Trevor had been killed by demons. During the war, Solso met an engineer by the name of Aaron Kerr. That meeting turned into a friendship, which turned into love, and then it was time for the wedding. Later, the cleric would say that only the memory of his beloved had allowed him to cope with the terrors of the abyss and keep his sanity. The commander was among those invited to the wedding. Having received an invitation to the wedding, Sella was torn about whether or not she should attend. She felt her appearance at her friend's wedding would be a bad omen. In the end, she overcame her fears, and it was well worth it. Her stories and army songs were the height of the festivities. Reginald Dren608 wrote a treatise on waging war against the demons, both practical, manual, and a philosophical exhortation. And once that was done, he succumbed to the bleaching completely. He was posthumously reinstated in his order and buried with honors in the officer's cemetery. His treatise was used in all future wars against the abyss by mortals, angels, and devils alike. Before he died, he managed to send a letter to the commander. Did it contain sincere farewells or a list of directives? Impossible to say. No one was privy to the contents except the recipient. I don't know what it said. The war changed Greybor. He left the assassin's craft behind and embarked on a search for his family. It took years to win their love again, but he had never been one to back down from a fight. So he won that battle as well. Greybor hung his axes above the fireplace. I gave him some really nice ones. And became an upstanding citizen. The transformation was difficult for him, and many a time he would reminisce about the days of his daring youth. Still, there was one joy in family life that the dwarf would not have traded for anything in the world. His daughter, Mora. She grew up to be an exceptional warrior, and watching her train brought Greybor's true happiness. Ursula had changed her nature completely, ridding herself of evil, but she would not dare to live among mortals. She took up residence in a small house away from their settlements. Shortly afterward, rumors began to spread. Some said there was a kind sorceress living in the cottage, or perhaps a reclusive saint, and people would come to her asking for help. She never refused anyone, and in time she earned their trust and friendship. Another of the commander's companions, Selah the Paladin, visited her sister-in-arms on a number of occasions to share tales of their latest adventures. Their meetings were always joyful and their conversations long and heartfelt. And here we are at the cutscene. Sorry this went up to 40 minutes. A lot of stuff there for me to read.
And what of me, the writer of these words? The half-demon witch known as the architect of the Worldwound. I was defeated and fell at the hand of the one I had tried to transform. My experiment ended in failure, and my life ended along with it. I have recounted the story of my life for you, Pharasma, Lady of Graves. Not only of my life, but of the Commander's also. I believe the tale of such an illustrious figure would pique even a goddess's curiosity.
That's, you can pause for about Pharasma there.
Now you know everything. I await your verdict, goddess.
Silence hangs over the boneyard, which is explaining by the souls of dead mortals from the material plane are judged by the goddess Pharasma, the Lady of Graves. Is weighing her decision. It seems the entire universe is holding its breath, awaiting her pronouncement. Who would dare to break a silence so absolute? Should I intervene? I did the last time. I'm a brazen singing Cavalier nasty fighter. I'm going to intervene. I'll beat you up, goddess, if you don't let me do it my way. Though you are no longer here, your mythic powers entitle you to a say in this trial. I appeal to your mercy. Of all the gods, Iomide was the only one to fight against the Worldwound. Even you, Pharasma, stood by and did nothing. Doesn't that suggest that the Worldwound was not so great a threat to the universe, and a ruler's crimes were not as heinous as claimed? Great evil deserves commensurate punishment. I appeal to your sense of justice. The world as the gods created exists in a delicate balance. I really wish to overturn that balance, which represents a direct challenge to you, Lady of Graves. Millions of us suffered enough. Do not add to the evil already wrought with yet another act of evil. Which one, guys? I mean, I'm gonna... Ooh. I guess I have to do the diplomacy one, because my lore religion isn't up there anymore. Let's try this one. I succeeded. Your words ring out in the silence. They are heard, considered, and given their due weight.
The laws of the universe have existed for millennia. They are incontrovertible, but even they allow the decider of fate some degree of influence over the verdict. You wrought great evil, while it stemmed from the evil that was done to you. Your actions far exceeded it. Your soul is dark, and there is only one place for you in the universe. And yet, the one whom you harmed most of all now appeals to me on your behalf. I shall send you to the Maelstrom, the plane on the edge of the world. A place to which the gods' gazes do not stray. There you will find yourself. Or you will perish in the whirlwind of chaos that is your soul. So be it.
Give her a chance to figure herself out.
Now you, the mortal who has risen so high as to stand boldly in the presence of the goddess of fate. You have done the impossible, and you will be remembered as long as this universe exists. Go, live out the rest of your life. I look forward to tales of your future deeds.
And that should be the end of the game. Yep. The end. And there you have it, folks. So, if you liked what you saw, hit the thumbs up button, please. Also, subscribe. Subscriptions and like buttons, both of those things help us YouTubers. Like buttons get us up higher in the searches when you come searching for videos on this game. And subscriptions obviously tell us that people like what we're doing and we should keep doing it. Please leave me comments on any of the videos that I've put out there. I do try to answer all my comments. It might take me a few days sometimes to find them, but I do get around to responding somehow to everybody's comments that get left. Just so you know, I might try to do the Gold Dragon one just to see what it's like, but I'm probably not going to video that one unless I get a bunch of comments saying, no, you want to see the Gold Dragon. I will do it similar to the way I did this one. I'll just show you the adventure part and just do the crusade stuff offline mostly. Most of the storyline is going to be the same. It's going to be just a matter of some of the conversations will twist differently. You know, support characters and things like that. That'll all be slightly different. So that's why I'm thinking that that's probably not going to be that that interesting to people. I didn't have anybody vote for the Gold Dragon path when I asked if anybody wanted to see one of the other paths besides the Angel. And Legendary Hero got all the votes, so we went down that path. I am doing a Saturday morning stream on the original Pathfinder Kingmaker. The vote came out that I was going to do a female monk whose life goal is to romance Tristan. So I'm going to try and make sure I have all the notes about the lines I'm supposed to say to get Tristan to fall in love with her. The Adventures of Fiona, a female monk. That's what's going on Saturday mornings, so tune in there. Or if you can't see it on Saturday morning, you know, skim through the video later on. They're running between 2 and 3 hours long. My voice doesn't hold out much longer than that. I do try to get as much done as I can, but sometimes it just takes too long to get something done, and it seems like I'm not getting anywhere. So yeah, take a look at that. I also have another series going with doing another game, Gloomhaven, the computer version. I've been doing trying to figure that game out and working my mercenary company through the various adventures that they offer and trying to get myself to succeed in those. It's a whole different kind of game to play. I do have lots of other computer games. I had a video out a while back, maybe almost a year now, maybe. It was quite a few months ago. I put out a video saying, hey, here's all my, I kind of showed all my lists on the left-hand side of all the games that I had and told people, go ahead, pause it, take a look at the games. If there's a game you like, send me a comment on that particular video or whatever, and let me know what games you guys would like to see me do. If there are some newer titles out there that you guys would like to see me do, like I did this one when I did the Angel Path. Basically, it's, excuse the phraseology, it's a blind playthrough. I really don't know what I'm doing, just kind of stumbling through and seeing what happens. If you'd like to see more of that, let me know. If you'd like to see it more in a stream rather than piecemeal videos like this, I'd like to know that too. So I might even put up a poll about some of those choices, see what I can get for responses, okay? So anyway, that's the second time through the ending here. If I play it again, I might go through the Gold Dragon one just to see what it's like, and just for myself. And then in the future, I might try this again like I'm doing the Kingmaker one, where I will just do a stream like once a week for 3 hours or so and just see how far we can get pounding through things, trying different class kind of person. All right? There will probably be some other videos coming out. I'm going to try and do some of my... this channel started off with war games, conflict simulation games. That's how I started this off. Shortly before the pandemic, I started that just to try and get some videos out there for games that I played that didn't seem to have any videos for people to say, how do you do this? So I will probably go back to doing some of that as well. So there's going to be a lot of different content on the channel, so please check back, see what's going on, and leave me comments on what you'd like to see me do. I'm all for trying to make things that people want to watch. All right? So again, hit the subscribe button, hit the notify bell so you know when new stuff's up, and please hit the like button on some of these videos so that we know that you're out there watching. I see a lot of newcomer. The way YouTube tells me is like there's several hundred new viewers. People are stopping in to watch, but I'm not getting any responses from them. No comments or anything. Just somebody's like popping in, look at it, and I guess they don't like what they see, but they don't say one way or the other. So yeah. All right, I think that's enough of me talking. This is Dren608. Until we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye.